We are having way more fun than we should be allowed to have on this week's episode of Implicit Bias. I'm Kevon Bordelon, your host. This is hour 2 of this week's episode. If you missed anything of this episode, go back, find us on all of our socials. Go to implicitbiasradio.com. Find us on X, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. We're all over it. And yes, unfortunately, you can see us. It's okay. Trust me, we're not going to break your computer. Well, that's why we keep Walker off the air. Anyway, let's go ahead and dive in. I'll introduce you to the crew. We'll tell you about the whiskeys that we're drinking in hour 2. Many in the TSPL here, presented by Mr. Lester's, are drinking the whiskeys that are available at Mr. Lester's this month, including the Forbidden series out of, do we remember which one that is, Caleb?
No.
No.
I could look in the book that's right next to me and it'll tell me.
Renee, Kentucky. Oh, yeah, we'll find it. But the Forbidden series and then it's Bardstown. Bardstown. Took me a second.
Yes.
And then it's Bluestone Manor. Those are available for a pittance. $15 a pour, $30 for the flight. $15 for the pour, $30 for the flight.
They're so aggressive with their pricing. And that's the thing is they want people to come there and taste these bourbons that you're not going to find. They want you to come there and be like, look, I want to try it before I buy it. I want to go and enjoy something maybe that I can't see because it's unobtainium and just really enjoy the ambiance.
Now, I know what we're supposed to have for February. And what I'm saying is, go get January. February could be really special too. February might even be almost pure unobtainium. We'll get to that in February. Sorry to tease you with
like
that.
True Love because it's during Valentine's Day?
Could be. Could be. Okay. Which, by the way, is the only reason to bring someone back from the dead. Anyway, let's go from there. Caleb gets the joke.
Yeah.
So let's dive in. You've heard and seen the crew. That is Caleb Morse, the Rustic Renegade. What, Caleb?
I hear, well, no. He said to blave.
To blave, which means to bluff. Yeah, no, that's not what it is. All right, that's Caleb Morse at the bar. K&B Grant Galatas, the CWAT, the Certified Wizard of Tobacco, Renee Girard, Louisiana's only certified master tobacconist, one of 15 in the world. All right, so speaking of that, Renee, since you've had a taste of both what's available at Mr. Lester's this month, Forbidden series.
I had one.
Well, you've had one of those, and you've had the Remus from New News.
I like the Forbidden one better.
I did. I wasn't asking you that. What I was going to ask you was
that's not like it's okay. You
what
can really enjoy that.
what would be your cigar of the month?
Oh, well, I would pick a very rare cigar, not unobtainium, but it's the Amazon Basin. It's done by CAO. Comes out once a year.
Okay.
And we just got our allocation of 5 boxes in 2 days ago. And so it's a cigar that everybody looks for.
Why that cigar with these two whiskeys?
Well,
what flavors you're going to get?
It's the thing is it's got a slight sweetness to it, which is not artificial. It's just the tobaccos they put in it. It's got a sweetness to it. And one of the tobaccos is grown in the Amazon Basin, which hence the name.
You would hope so,
yes.
since the cigar is named the Amazon Basin.
But it's a very limited production tobacco. Bragancia is the tobacco, and it's got a slight sweetness to it. It's just an awesome cigar.
So
in fact, cigar people, they look forward to this cigar's release every year.
And this tobacco is grown in Nova Scotia, right?
Right, Nova Scotia.
Okay,
yeah.
Cool. I didn't know if it was Nova Scotia or if it was somewhere in Greenland, which will soon be part of the U.S.
And they don't grow a lot of stuff in Greenland.
No, they really don't.
It's very misnamed.
Man,
it should be like Whiteland.
We're going to go down this rabbit hole because Iceland is primarily green.
Yes.
As far as the topography goes.
Right.
Greenland is primarily ice as the topography goes.
It was a Norse trick.
Well, okay, so you were taught the same thing I was.
Yeah, it was a Norse trick. They were like, don't attack here. It's icy. So
Greenland was the nice, lush, beautiful island.
There.
Iceland was the nice, lush, beautiful island. And Greenland, where they're like, oh, we're going to go attack Greenland. Greenland is the harsh,
What
terrible.
makes it worse is like, some people went there when they were like, you know what? I can live here. It's a tundra.
It is.
The whole thing's, and they stuck it out and they eat raw, nasty fish that are fermented.
I have seen some of that, the Greenland shark.
Yeah, it's called like glug glug. I don't know.
Yeah, it looks like it's based on a
people
dare.
from from Green Bay, Wisconsin that live there in the frozen tundra of Lambeau Field.
And then the whole time you're saying Amazon Basin, I'm like, thank God there's not a cigar that's called like the Atchafalaya Basin.
Oh yeah, that would be nasty.
Okay.
He just
So I said we were having more fun than we're normally allowed to have. Saw something and I said, we absolutely need to do this on the show. And then I messed up the initial instructions, but it was a quick fix here during one of the breaks. I asked each of you to come up with the number one movie from the year that you were 10 years old. So, Walker, let's start with you. What was the number one movie when you were 10?
Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2.
Part 2.
Part 2. Okay.
There was a part 1?
yes, there was a
Yeah, there
part
was.
1 that was the year before Walker was.
Well,
10.
let's be honest. The book, Caleb, there was one book, and they said, "Oh, we can make more money if we make this into 2 movies
Yes.
instead of 1."
Yes.
So they made 2 movies so they could double dip out of your
Well,
wallet.
I know to surprise you, when you look at me, you thought he read the books. I didn't. I didn't see the movies either. So
Yep. We've already talked about why Harry Potter ruined the world on this show. That's okay. All right, let's go to the bar. Renee, what is your number one movie from the year that you were 10?
The Godfather.
Oh.
okay.
Okay. Yeah, Grant says he wins. We'll see. Grant, what about you? What was the number one movie from the year you were 10?
Well, one was best grossing and one was the Academy Award.
No,
winner.
best grossing, because that's what really counts, not a bunch of snooty people patting each other on the back about how great they are.
Well, I like the other one, Rocky, in 1977.
Ooh.
But Star Wars
Star Wars highest grossing.
Episode 4 was.
Episode 4. Okay, A New Hope. So what
You
most
knew
of us
that?
Yeah, here's why. Because what
Hey,
most of us know,
Kudos.
what
I
most
love
of
the
us
whole
know,
Star Wars franchise.
You
so
could
that was good.
have
That was
said
really
anything, and I'd have been like, "How'd you know that? I don't know if he's right."
good.
what most of us
that was
what
spot
most
on.
of us consider the first Star Wars, because I was also had to be 1977 because I was 5.
That was the first one. Episode they
Yeah.
started with episode
Yeah,
4.
they started with episode
So
4.
now I
So
want to
take that, brother.
Now I'm questioning your parents because if they saw that movie, that means. Well, hold on. If you saw, were your parents there when you saw the movie?
They had to be. I was 5. Either
Wait,
that or my brothers brought me.
Did
I
they-
don't remember.
Well, okay, yeah, because that's before they wouldn't have had it on VHS at that point. So
Oh,
I
no,
guess.
no, not even close. All right, Caleb, what was your number one movie?
I don't want to say it.
Oh, I love it. He's going to take the shot at somebody else's movie and be like, I don't want to say
No,
it.
mine, yeah.
I don't want to say it.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
No, that would be cool. That would be awesome. Instead, I get the Lion King.
Oh,
man.
Okay.
You see there.
So I'll tell you what mine was.
It's a cartoon.
Yeah, it's a stupid
Mine?
cartoon about a lion harlot that sleeps with the pack leader and his son.
Hey, Hakuna Matata, brother.
Mine was E.T. Oh, that's a good one. Now, here's the funny part.
Okay.
Phone home.
Yes. The way that I saw this was whatever movie is number one when you were 10, that is your prediction for 2025. Like, that is the year you're going to experience in 2025. So I was like, E.T., aliens? Sure, it's on the card. Why not? Mine's easy. Walker? I don't know, gonna run around in robes with a wand and whatever.
am
He probably does that.
Am I
going to
find a horse head in my bed or something?
I-
just
No, I'm thinking you're gonna
Renee
put
finds cocaine.
No, Renee is gonna put an orange. Renee is gonna put an orange in his mouth and run around through a tomato plant.
Hey, I got it then. Trump's back in office, A New Hope.
Or Space Force, like Star Wars Space Force. I mean,
Like we have our first intergalactic battle.
look, I'm telling you,
I don't know what happens in Star Wars, so I don't.
the only thing that really I don't see in the cards for 2025 is your movie, Caleb. Like, I don't see, I don't see Hamlet.
Oh, maybe Scar dies.
I don't see Hamlet.
Who's Scar? Yeah, Hamlet. Yeah, okay.
Because that's
it
essentially
is Hamlet.
what
It
the
is
Lion
Hamlet.
King
Yeah,
was,
it is
right?
Hamlet, yeah.
The uncle kills the father,
Yeah,
exiles the son comes back to claim the throne. It's Hamlet. That's all it is. It is the freaking story of Hamlet, which, by the way, was also the movie Strange Brew, which is the greatest adaptation of Hamlet in the history of adaptations. Coo, 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 coo. Bob and Doug McKenzie are fantastic.
So
Take
Disney's
off,
not
Ozer.
original anyway. That's fine. I get it.
No, it's not. Right? I'll have 2 bowls of split pea soup to go, eh? For those who've seen that movie, and yeah, I think Grant is about to spit whiskey out of his nose after that one.
100 times. I saw that movie. Rick Moranis was in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really fun.
That's when he was in his heyday,
Oh yeah.
which was like 1 year.
Their dog's name was Hoser,
Right.
which was fantastic. It was
That's all they did was drink beer the whole
No,
movie.
that would have been. That was like what? That movie came out what? 1982
I don't even know.
to 86, probably.
I don't know what year that movie came out.
So Rick Moranis' heyday would be that. What was the one with the alien robot things that he had? He had Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
yeah.
He had
Spaceballs.
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 Oh, his best movie. Seymour. Little Shop of Horrors.
Yeah.
Ghostbusters.
He was in
He was in
Ghostbusters.
Ghostbusters.
And then there was one where there were these little aliens that they made out of like Coke cans and stuff that floated around and went through things. Am I the only one that saw that one?
Yeah.
Caleb,
no.
that was just a bad LSD trip for
Yeah.
you, and that's
Oh man, I'm
I
like,
think so.
you put
I'm
Rick
gonna-
Moranis in that
no,
movie.
no.
and
There's a
it's-
movie about it, and yet I can't think of it.
and he's going to look it up to try and prove us
I
wrong
am.
because we know that Caleb was. Anyway,
Was he in that one? Because it's like I remember that somebody was making those little robots and they saved like an apartment building or something like that.
No, he wasn't in it. I think you're right.
are you thinking of Short Circuit? Johnny Five is
Nope,
alive.
nope.
Because he was
That
not
a-
in that movie.
That was an awesome movie too, though. Man, he was in this movie.Maybe I'm just crazy.
Are you thinking of Dana Carvey?
No,
I don't know. I mean, what I know is that Second
Man,
City crew, SCTV crew, was John Candy, Rick Moranis, Eugene Levy. I mean, you had all those people in that group. Even, matter of fact, even the guy from Happy Gilmore, right? Hit it again, jackass. That guy was from Second City TV, and I can't remember his name. He never got famous enough for anybody. to
Batteries
care.
not included.
There you go.
Batteries not included.
was.
Was he not in that movie?
I don't think so.
Man, oh my brain.
So
like,
whoa,
that's
whoa.
what do they call that? So there's something Mandela effect.
You thinking that's a Mandela effect? Where
Yeah.
you swore he was in that movie?
I would have bet you money right now.
I've always heard brain fart.
He had to
Yeah,
be in
that,
there.
I'm thinking that
he
is
had to be in that.
that is
movie.
that is breaking wind between the ears, Caleb. That's what that is. That's all that is. That is not even Mandela effect. I'm just saying.
1987.
Okay, so while Caleb does this research, Renee, what do you think of The Forbidden?
I like that one much better. It's going.
Don't compare it. Just
Okay,
tell us what you
good.
like about it.
It's not real hot.
Mm-hmm.
It's very smooth to me. Just the flavors agree with me a lot better.
There you go.
And it would go better with my Amazon Basin cigar.
Amazon Basin cigar. I love it. So what you're basically saying is, Renee, your cigar of the month is Swamp Ass?
And no, that would be.
I'm kidding.
That would be an Atchafalaya Basin cigar.
Okay, that's right. That would
You
be
know,
the
that's-
Atchafalaya Basin
You're
cigar.
right,
Yeah.
which they don't make.
Yeah, no.
But you know what? When we go to Mr. Lester's again, I hope Chef Willie still has some of this because I'm going to bring an Amazon Basin to smoke with that one.
There you go. All right. Grant, what about you? What do you think of the Forbidden offering that you can get at Mr. Or did you just have more of the Remus?
Yeah, I had more Remus. I'm going slow tonight. Second pour Remus here.
Yeah. Great stuff. Caleb, I know you like the Forbidden series.
Yeah, I
as well.
swapped back to the Forbidden. I did, and now I'm like, man, I wouldn't mind a Atchafalaya Basin with that. Yeah.
All right. So I do want to go back and bring a little of last hour's content into
Okay.
the second hour as we basically spent almost
So you're gonna carry an ember into the second hour.
that's a great analogy. That's really well done. Look at you getting the segue.
I try.
Dude, so you're like 1 for 147,000. Love it.
Probably.
Yeah, no, we're good. Here's what we didn't get to talk about that, man, it's one of those things that people are going to be like, oh, it's conspiracy theory-ish. I don't think there's any conspiracy about the fact that there are tunnels under celebrities' homes. And you've got celebrities coming out and saying, hey, part of the issue with these fires is because of what's evidently in those tunnels, and they're trying to burn what's in those tunnels out. Just the fact that you have tunnels in so many places around the United States. Think of it this way. City of New Orleans. So people listening on WGSO in New Orleans. You probably know, and the rest of the world knows, that the reason we have graveyards above ground in New Orleans is because if you dig down 6 feet, you're going to find water in a lot of places. So they built their cemeteries above ground. Well, at the corner of Poydras and Canal, there are tunnels there. There are full-on, almost interstate-sized tunnels. You can drive a vehicle underneath those tunnels. Grant, you were telling me there are tunnels underneath LSU in Baton Rouge, correct?
That's correct. It's funny you say that. I was right at Poydras and Canal last night at the Superdome. So right under the overpass, is that what you're saying? Right. I mean, the bridge,
Okay.
the interstate runs.
No, so I'm sorry, that is Poydras and the interstate. Canal runs parallel almost to Poydras and hits right at Harrah's Casino.
Oh, that small little intersection where it brings
Yep.
it close. Right there.
Yep, right there.
There's a new building there, too. Well, I say they rebuilt the building.
I know there's tunnels from Sanger running under Canal Street, but they did that for the actors and stuff for storage, and they had dressing rooms and everything all underneath Canal Street.
Wait. How long has that casino been there? Well, now it's not Harrah's. Now it's Caesars.
Oh, whatever it is. It's now
But it's been
Caesars.
Harrah's for as long as I was alive.
Well,
really.
that's because same company owns
Yeah.
both.
Yeah. Do you think maybe it was to transfer money or high rollers?
No, this was their
Or-
way before the casinos were there. So for those who were old enough in New Orleans, and Grant, I know you are because you and I are about the same age. You remember PM Magazine. Eric Paulson, unfortunately, just passed away. Really nice guy. I hated to see that. He actually did a story on PM Magazine, and I'm talking in the 80s, on the tunnels and basically the streets that were running underneath Canal and Poydras.
I mean, right there, there's always been money, and the port's not far from it.
Well, you know what you've got there? You've got what used to be, what was that big building right there across the street from where the casino is now, Grant?
Is that
What did that building used to be?
What? Not One Shell Square.
Nope.
No, wasn't that the convention center?
It was the World Trade Center. in New Orleans.
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
It was the World Trade Center. And Grant, as you and I both know, what organization in the United States likes to mask itself as an international trade organization?
La Cosa Nostra.
What's another one?
Oh, the Mafia.
No, La Cosa Nostra and the Mafia, the same thing.
Well, yeah, but
That's the same.
yeah, I
That's
don't- I
two
don't know where
different
you're going
names.
with this.
I'm talking about a governmental entity.
wait? So y'all still talking about the same thing?
What's that? Well, you could make the argument that certain three-letter agencies operate.
It sounds a lot like Chia, doesn't it?
CIA?
Yep.
Yeah.
well, that was all within a one-block area. You had the CIA right across from the FBI,
Well, that's
right across from the courthouse.
what everybody knew was
Right.
there.
And that's where Guy Bannister and
That
and
and
Jay-
we're
yeah.
we're gonna get into
Oh,
the
I love
whole
that rabbit hole.
JFK thing that dropped earlier this week. Walker's telling me that we got to do it after this. More Implicit Bias Radio coming your way.